Yesterday we learned basic commands. Today we will deep dive into the basic commands. First of all, let me explain few things. We are in root and this is root parent directory. Everything comes under it. I already told you in yesterday class. Now if you do ls, there are few directories. And if you do ls pipe, we call it pipe command wc-l, it is showing how many directories. This is showing like 21 directories, but root only has 20 directories that are important, that start from this bin. These are the 20 important directories of Linux that manage the whole systems. That also I will explain. Root home directory is root. This is called root home directory. And what is user home directory? Suppose we added the user John Wright. Then user John home directory is this one. He can work inside. Suppose let me log in as John user. Now I jumped as John. And you can see here as I jumped as John, its own directory is showing. Like it is its personal space. Other than root, nobody can touch it. And suppose you want to create any file, he can create any file. It is like its private space, you can say. But if you say that we want user John to create file inside root, let's see if it can create. Touch command is for creating the empty file. Let's try to create the file inside root. It does not have the proper rights to create the file. That's why it is saying permission denied. However, if I want root to create a file inside user John, then it can create because it has all the rights of the machine. Suppose XYZ, we give the file name XYZ. See, it created the file. How we can check? We can check by this command lslrta. And you can see here it has 0 data, which means it is an empty file. And it has the permissions that I will explain in further classes. And it is its owner and it is its group. Owner and group is who created the file inside John user. Now we will see the different ways of creating the file. This one I showed you already. Like we are inside John user now. One was touching 1, 2, 3. One is that I told here that we can give directly the file path. That where do we want to create the file? We want to create the file inside home John user. That's why I created the file. That's the way also. Other way we can create the file by touch command. We can type a BC, but we want to create multiple files. What we have to do? Suppose we want to create the file C from 1 to 5. We want to create the file like a BC1, ABC2, ABC3, ABC4. This way we can create, if you see now a list, let it has created the file 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what I just gave 1 and then gave 2 dot and then give 5. This way we can create the file. Let's see what happened when we create the file with like this. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what does it say. However, files are already created. It is saying unexpected token means we did wrong. What we need to use? We need to use curly braces. Now let's check. What does it create? It does not create anything because files are already there. Let's try with XYZ 1, 2, 3. See, it has created the file. But if we want to create multiple files from 1 to 20, then we might not want to use this command because we don't want to type over and again from 1 to 20. Simply we can give 1 and then dot and 20. It will create 20 files. And what are the other ways of creating files? Let's see. We can create like this as well. Touch IBM 1, IBM 2, Team 3. This is also a way of creating the file. We can get 3 file name and we can create 3 files. See, the 3 files are created. And if you want to delete, we need to type rm star. Before running this rm star command, you always should be aware where you are sitting. You can always check by pdd command. Like I am sitting in John home directory. If you by mistake sitting in root and you executed rm star, then it will be like deleting the all files of the operating system and your system will not come up in production environment and it will only leads to like they will fire you from the job. This is very dangerous command in case of Linux administrator line. This should be done very carefully, checking like where you are sitting currently while running command. We want to run the command inside the main user and we want to delete all the files. Then we can do rm star. Now it is asking, do we want to delete? Because I put rm star, it is first asking yes or no. Then it is asking for a BC. I will say no. Yes, no. This way, what it is doing, it is asking me. But if you put rm-f star means you are forcefully deleting the files, then it will not ask you anything and it will delete all the files. See? It has deleted all the files inside users on now. Rm means remove. What are all other ways to create the file? Suppose we want to create the file touch ABC, then we want to create like this. Home Pash John X size. Can we create like this as well? Let's see. This one also executed. See, both the files created whatever we wanted. Let's check if we can create the other way in the file. We can type touch, then we can type /abc, then we can type 1. Let's see. By this way, create or not. It does not have created anything. This only work for the file, not for the directories, because we use /same. It was not able to create. The other way to create the file, touch. Suppose I want to create here one. Let's see if this way it can create the file. Yes, it created the file by this way. You can test always all the different methods to create the file. Let's see if this way it create the file. No, it is not created by this way as well. You need to be always checked by what way you can create the file. Let's see the other ways as well. Path should be existing to create the file. Because this path was not existing by file, it does not create it. We can check by echo command as well. If we press echo and then give my file. Let's check it. But it has created the file. See, it has created the file, but it has the data or not. It has no data. Now let's add the data to it. Now do cat. Cat means we want to see the data in it. See, it has pasted the hello. And if we wanted to add more data, how we can add? We have to press 2 times this greater than sign. And we need to give the file name. Now we will check my file name. See, the file is created. What if I have given only one redirection or this greater than sign? What it will do to this file? This will overwrite. Now we will check. See, it has deleted the previous line and it has added this line. So till now I told you by touch command, by echo command. Now we will learn some other ways as well. Suppose I want to create a file. We can do this by this as well. Why? We can press escape I. When I press escape, then I button, then it will allow us to write. Then we can press escape, then :WQ to save the file, and an exclamation sign to exit from the file, which we are editing. So this is a separate chapter of VI editing that will be coming in future classes. We'll see we have file is there or not. See, it is there. Now we will delete this file. What are all other ways we can create the file? Other ways is we can do this as well. File1.txt. What it will do, it will allow us to write the file in real time. Suppose now it came here. Now we can write anything. Hi, how are you? This is hello world. Now what you need to do after this, you just need to press Ctrl+C. I press Ctrl+C. Now we can check if file is created or not. The file is created of 16 bytes. Let's see, because I press the Ctrl+C at the third line, not by pressing enter it. That's why I type only these 2 lines. So the other way to create the file with this, let's delete the file again. Now create the file by different method. This is greater than sign. We give the file name. Let's see if it has created the file. Yeah, it has created the file as well. But remember, if you executed this for the file that is already present, it will delete all its data in it. And if we want to create a size file, means we want to give a size to the file, how we can create. For that, we can write dd if equal to dev0. Means we want a 0 file of, we want to give like file name, my file. Like I can give my file text, or you can just type my file as well, both are fine. Then we have to give block size that I want 512 bytes of file. Count equal to 1 means what it will do, it will multiply this by this size. See, now it has write the data and it goes having a speed of 2.7 Mbps while writing the data. It has write 0 data. Now let's check the file. If you can see here, file created of 512 bytes. Now we can delete this. The other way to create the file is we can just clear printf hello world. /n means it will print the output in next line. Give the file name. Now check if file is created or not. File is created. We deleted the file again. These were the ways of creating the files by different methods. Suppose if anyone say to you that we want to check the speed, like at what speed it is writing the data in the file. So we can use always this command that we just executed. We can give the size as per MB/GB. We just need to type after 512. You can change this number according to your need. And if you want G, then it will create a 512 GB of file, but system should have a space as well to create that file. Now let's learn how to create the directory. Same way we can clear the directory mkdir john1. What is it doing? It is creating the directory inside home john user. Let's check if directory is created. Yes. The directory is created and it has option D, which means it is a directory. Let's see if it can create more directories. Now check ls lrth at john1. It is created the john2 directory. But suppose if we want to create the directory outside of this john user, then what we have to give? Suppose I want to create a john directory like this. Because I gave only parent / means it will try to create the directory in parent directory, which is root /. Let's see if it can create or not. So it is created. Now let's see where it has gone. So for that, because we created in / we will go / and we will check the ls lrth john. But if you want to see the directory, we can use the option ls-ld john as well. See, it has created the directory. And if we want to delete the directory, we have to use the option R to delete the directory, because without R, it will not be able to delete the directory. Let me show you. If I use only rm-f John, it is saying you cannot remove because it is a directory. Now what we have to do, we have to put our option. Now it will delete the directory. Now let's go back again to John user. Suppose if you want to create a nested directory, how we can create? We can create by I want to create like this. John 1, John 2, data ABC. This way I want to create. Now it is saying you cannot create because it is a nested. Then how we can create it? Then we have to give -p option. -p is for creating subdirect directories inside directory. Now it has created. Let's go to root again and see if directory is created. Now you can see in last that there is option John. But how do we get to know that it has created other subdirectories or not? John 2, data ABC. For that we can either go to John 2C. It is if I'm pressing tab key, it is auto picking. Either this way you can go or you can type tree John. It will give you the tree of the John, that what is inside John. Inside John there is John 2 folder. Inside John 2 there is data folder, or inside data there is a BC folder. And if we want to delete the whole, we can simply do rm-rf and we can create delete John and it will delete all the data of the John C. Now it is not existing there. So same way, if we want to create multiple directories by single command like we did by touch command, we can do mkdir ibm and we have to give these parenthesis 1.5. Let's see if it has created the 5 directories. Yes, it has created the 5 directories. We can delete again rm-rf star because we are sitting inside John. So we can run this command. Okay, this one done. Now let me show you what is this. If you press this tilted sign, what it will do. See, you come to root again from John. Means what this still do, it means you can always come back to the user home directory. So because we are working with root, earlier we were in John folder, but now we again come to root home directory. See? Now let's go again to home, John. And what this will do, it will jump back to the previous working directory, like in which directory you were previously in. See, because you were previously in root, it again come back to root. Okay. Now let's check. Let's create few directory. -p IBM. So now I have created multiple directories and I am inside IBM 1. I'm going inside IBM 1. You can see nothing is there. We are in home John IBM 1. And if we want to go back to only one step back, what we can do? Make it into CD ... We will come out John. Again, suppose I'm going to IBM 2. Now I am in IBM 2. And now I want to jump back to 2 step back. How we can do? CD ... and then slash. So other than 3 command, what command we can check to? What is the file level settings out there? Suppose we are creating the directories again. Now let's check. Since we created IBM, we go to IBM. We can check here ls lrth. So this is there. But now how to check by ls-lrth command? So for that we can do ls-R and we can type IBM. It will show you the structure that inside IBM there is IBM 1 folder and inside IBM 1 there is IBM 2 folder, and same way tree command also. Okay, so these are the ways of creating the file. So you can see, you can always mark or you can take screenshot of this window and you can practice later. I have given you the commands explanation here. Now let's see. This time I have press enter first, then control plus, whether it has saved it in the file or not. Okay, now it has saved in the file. So touches just create a blank file. Makedir to create a directory. Nest directory we use -p. Data listing we use ls. To check complete data in single command, which choose ls-R. Thank you.